What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got a really fun video. So earlier this year, a couple months ago, I decided going forward, every movie I buy, I'm gonna do Blu-ray instead of DVD. And that has been very successful. Every movie that I have bought since I decided has been Blu-ray, unless it doesn't have a Blu-ray or something like that. But today I'm doing a video of showing you guys everything that I have left on DVD that I want to upgrade. Now this is a lot of movies that I'm showing. I do want to mention the TV is on behind me, that's why there's a light. Um, but everything I'm showing, this is significantly less than I had when I started doing this. Um, my Blu-rays are bigger than ever at this point. Um, it's big. But let's get started. There's a lot. This is probably going to be a two-part kind of thing, just because this is probably going to be like around an hour to show everything. So let's get started. We'll start with stack one here. This is one that I bought before I decided to go to Blu-ray. And this isn't actually that expensive. Even though it's a movie that came out earlier this year, you can buy a Blu-ray of this for like $10 already. That being Drop. This is a very good movie that I do actually really want an upgrade on. This is a fun movie, and a lot of people like this movie, and for a good reason. I watched this in the theater and had a lot of fun with it, and I'm happy to say I have it, but I do want to get a Blu-ray of this movie. Next up, the Lorax. Now this is going to be an interesting one. I know a lot of people don't like this movie that much. I don't really see why. I grew up with this movie. This is one of those movies that I watched all the time growing up. So this is one I do want to get a Blu-ray of. And I know the Blu-ray is not that expensive of this. So this probably will be one that I have in not that much longer. Here we have the live-action Jungle Book. This is another one that's pretty dirt cheap to upgrade, so this one will probably be another one that's marked off pretty soon here. I do want this on a Blu-ray. Nice looking cover. But I do want to get this on a Blu-ray. Like I said, I'm not going to go fast. I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can, because there is 2 stacks to go through. There is a lot to go through. So yeah, I'm going to go kind of fast, but there's just because there's so many. Next up I have is Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. I do want to get this on a Blu-ray. All of these Godzilla movies I have, I do want to get on Blu-ray. Just because movies like this, I definitely prefer in a higher definition quality. Like stuff like this, or like action movies, Marvel movies, I prefer in higher definition quality. Here we have, the next one is Priceless. This is a movie that was made by a band that I listen to. And I do want this on a Blu-ray. I do. And this isn't a very expensive Blu-ray. So it's kind of another one. It's kind of like the Jungle Book and the Lorax. I'm actually going to separate these by pretty dirt cheap ones to a little bit more on the pricey side still. Priceless is a pretty dirt cheap one. This one I'm not exactly sure what the Blu-ray really goes for on this. The Pursuit of Happiness. I don't know what a Blu-ray of this goes for. I don't think it's a ton. It's probably $5-6. I'll probably put it in dirt cheap to get an upgrade on this, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really been looking for a Blu-ray of this very actively right now. I have a lot of other films I'm trying to find sooner than this movie. But Pursuit of Happiness, I definitely want to upgrade. I'm going to put that in the dirt cheap pile now. Here's another one from this year that I just picked up a DVD because I decided when I picked this up I was still going to do DVD for some movies. That being Dogman. Now this one's actually kind of like Drop. It's not that expensive to get a Blu-ray of this already. I think last time I checked it was like $12 to $14 for a Blu-ray of this. This is one It's not at the top of my list, but I do definitely want this on an upgrade. Definitely. So that one is definitely one I have on my list for an upgrade. This is a new Paramount movie that I have on DVD. I remember I was originally gonna get the 4K of this, and then I was on eBay and somebody had a brand new sealed copy of the DVD for only like $12 on release week, so I just picked up the DVD. And I do want to get the 4K. It's not that expensive. I don't think. I haven't really looked a ton for it. That being Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, granted, I don't have any of these on Blu-ray. I have them all on just basic DVD. They are ones I do want to upgrade over time, though. And I am looking for upgrades of these movies, especially the first two. This one, not so much because it's still kind of expensive. But it is one on my list for upgrade. The next one here is another one I'm not really sure what it goes for a Blu-ray. That being The Boogeyman from 2023. This is the remake that came out. A lot of people are really mixed on this movie, and I actually did really enjoy this one. And I do want this on a Blu-ray. I do. There's really no reason. I just want it on a Blu-ray. I don't know what this Blu-ray goes for. I really don't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna bring my computer over here, and I'm gonna pull up what Blu-ray listings go. So I'm gonna pause this, check Blu-ray listings, and kind of tell you guys what the average is for these. So give me one sec. So this is definitely one that isn't super duper cheap. I'm almost wondering if this was one of those ones that the Blu-ray was never in the store. And it was one of those ones like nowadays like Hard Eyes, where the only the DVD was in the store. This Blu-ray is like $15, $15 to $20 still. This is a 2-year-old movie now. I was expecting this to be under $10 by now. This is going to go in the expensive pile, which means it probably won't be one that I upgrade anytime soon. Next up is one probably close to the top of my list for an upgrade. Blue Beetle. I love this movie. And I really want to get this on a Blu-ray. This is another one I'm not sure what it goes for a Blu-ray of this movie. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's a ton, maybe $10. Which isn't too bad. I'm actually gonna do this while I'm holding this up, so give me 1 second. This is a great movie though. I do love this movie. Okay, it doesn't go for that much. Okay, you can get $8, $9. Sealed copies are like 15 or like $12. So really not a super expensive one. I'll put this in the cheaper pile. Thank goodness. This is one that I do really want an upgrade for, but it's not a cheap Blu-ray. Because it's an older Disney movie. Older Disney movies, Blu-rays aren't cheap. The Great Mouse Detective. I do want the Blu-ray of this really bad, but the Blu-ray is like $15. $15-20. So most likely this will be one that I don't pick up anytime soon for an upgrade, but it is one on my list to hopefully get an upgrade for at some point in time. This is one that doesn't go for a ton. It's under $10, I know that. It goes for like $6-7. And no, I did not purposely mean to do that joke. Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Now, a lot of people, including myself, was actually really surprised with this movie because it was actually really solid. I do definitely want to get this on a Blu-ray. Definitely one that I don't know if it's at the top of my list or close to the top of my list, but it is one I definitely am looking out for. Here's one that I looked at not that long ago, and the Blu-ray kind of goes for a little bit of money. For some reason, it goes for like $16 to $20. That being the newest version of Haunted Mansion. I saw this one in the theater as well, and also really enjoyed this movie. I did enjoy this. I know a lot of people were mixed on this one as well. I did enjoy this one, and it is on my list for upgrade. Here's another one that's not cheap. Kind of waiting on Amazon for this one. We got Last Breath on Blu-ray or on DVD. But I want the Blu-ray of this. This is one of those ones where the Blu-ray was never put in the store. So if you're looking for a Blu-ray of this, you're gonna have to order it. Which is so bad. I hate that. It just makes it even more expensive, honestly, and just makes it the price isn't gonna fluctuate a ton. It's probably gonna stay pretty up there for a while. So, Last Breath is one on my list though to upgrade. The next one I have is another one I'm not 100% sure what the price is on this. Actually, I do. I remember looking it up. It was like $6 or something like that. Bridge to Terabithia. Definitely want to get a Blu-ray of this. This is a great movie. It is a very sad movie. I have debated just getting rid of this movie because it is so sad. Honestly, this movie could leave on my collection as a whole because this is just a really sad movie. I don't do super well with super duper sad movies, so usually they don't end up being my favorite. So Bridge to Terabithia, I have it in here right now, but this could any point leave my collection as a whole. Here's another one, Chicken Little. I do like this movie. That's probably controversial in itself. I do really like this movie. And the Blu-ray's not that much for it. It's like $5, $6. So I'll probably grab a Blu-ray of this because I do like this movie quite a bit. Now this one is going to probably surprise a lot of people because it goes for about $20 for a Blu-ray. But this would be the entire series, so it's actually pretty cheap because there's 8 movies in the series, I think. That being Chucky. This is the only thing I have with Chucky, but Chucky, I do want to get these all on Blu-ray. It's like $20 to get all the films on Blu-ray in a set. That is not bad. That is actually a really solid deal. So I'm probably gonna get that at some point here. Honestly, I would want to get that soon because it's Halloween time and this is a Halloween movie. So I would want to get a Blu-ray of this soon, but again, it's like maybe not. Here's another one that's pretty dirt cheap if you're looking for it. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I grew up on this movie as well. I've seen this movie a million times. I love this movie. I have the second one on Blu-ray, but I do need to get this one on a Blu-ray. This goes pretty cheap, obviously. It's an old movie. It's like, what year is this? 2010, so I was really young when this came out. So, yeah, this probably goes for like $5. Maybe even less than that. Definitely one that I'll probably have an upgrade for hopefully soon. Another dirt cheap one. Goosebumps. I've seen this movie a million times, and I definitely want to get an upgrade on this. Another one that's really cheap. You can probably go find it at a thrift store for $3-4. It's really cheap. Honestly, good movie though. I do like this movie. Here's one that I was actually decently surprised because it's not an insanely cheap movie. I'm actually going to keep this in the more expensive pile because I think it is over $10 and this is like a 7-year-old movie now. So I'm going to actually put this in the more expensive pile. That being Hobbs and Shaw. I really like this movie. This is the only Fast and Furious related movie I own. I'm not a big fan of it, but I do like this movie. I was surprised that the Blu-ray went for that much last time I checked. It is one I do want to get an upgrade though. I do like this movie overall, and I do want an upgrade. Sorry, my hands are shaking. So hopefully at some point I get an upgrade of this. Man, here's another one that kind of surprised me that the price is still kind of up there a little bit. Saw X. This actually goes for a decent amount of money to get a Blu-ray of this still. Kind of surprising, honestly. I have all the other ones on Blu-ray, so obviously I want to get this one on Blu-ray as well. I love the Saw movies, so this is one I definitely want to get a Blu-ray of. I do think I'm going to put this in the more expensive pile, but overall, I mean, it's not as bad as some of the ones I've shown you in the expensive pile, but still goes for like 10, 15 bucks. Here's a dirt cheap one. We're taking a break from the expensive ones. Pete's Dragon, another live-action Disney movie that I actually really like. This is dirt cheap. You can go... This is like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs again, or Goosebumps. You can probably go to the thrift store and pick this up for $2, $3, $4, somewhere in there. Really cheap. But it's a really good movie, though. This one I'm going to put in the more expensive one because it is a newer movie. And it is a Disney, which Disney Blu-rays do tend to stay up in price a lot longer for some reason than most movie studio Blu-rays do. Inside Out 2. Now, part of me regrets just not getting a Blu-ray right when this came out. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of regret not getting it right when it came out on Blu-ray. But I have the DVD of it, and hopefully I can get a Blu-ray of it soon. My goal is probably by the time the third one comes out to have it on Blu-ray. Here's another one that's pretty dirt cheap. Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I said, I have all three of these on just basic DVD. Now, this might be controversial, but I actually prefer this movie probably over the second one. I think the second's actually the weakest one, and then this one, and then the third is the best. But honestly, I do really like this one. I know a lot of people think this is the weakest. I actually really like this one, so... I mean, I'm not complaining, but definitely when I do want to get an upgrade for it, probably will happen because this is a pretty dirt cheap one. I would hope so. This came out in 2020. That's 5 years ago. Next up is another decently cheap one. The War with Grandpa. This movie really fell under the radar. Really fell under the radar. This is a really good movie that came out around COVID time, so this didn't get a lot of recognition, and a lot of people didn't see this because it was during COVID. This is a really fun movie, and I highly recommend this one. I've seen this movie so many times, and I love this movie. Definitely one I'm going to grab on Blu-ray. Secret Life of Pets 2 is another pretty cheap one to get a Blu-ray for, and a good movie. I do like the Secret Life of Pets movies. I like both of them. I don't really prefer one over the other. I think they're both equally good. Secret Life of Pets 2, pretty dirt cheap to get this on a Blu-ray. Definitely on my list. Alright, we got another dirt cheap one. I Am Legend. This one you can, I think I've seen at my movie store for like $2, $3 on a Blu-ray. So this one I'll probably have a Blu-ray of at some point soon here. So, I Am Legend. Then the last one here is one that I actually am not 100% sure what the pricing is on this. That is Soul. Now this movie probably looks beautiful on a Blu-ray, and I do definitely want to grab a Blu-ray of this one. Because I love this movie. I really do. This might be one of my favorite Pixar films. Soul is a beautiful movie. And honestly, I'm not sure what the Blu-ray goes for of this. I don't think it goes for a ton. Just because, what year was this? 2021. Oh, 4 years ago. Yes, this is pretty cheap. Most people have it at like $7. Sealed copies go for like 8 to 9, which that's pretty good for a sealed copy. So, dirt cheap, I would say. Not really dirt cheap, but cheap enough to go in a cheap pile. Now we are getting into the other stack, which is bigger than the one that we just went through. And this is the last stack. This is a big stack, though. We are almost 20 minutes in, so I'm actually going faster than I was expecting to go. I actually thought this was going to be like an hour, but the fact that we're probably close to half done and we're only 20 minutes in, this could be under an hour. We got Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. I really like this movie, actually. I think all the Conjuring movies are really solid, including this one. I do agree this is the weakest out of the four, and I have seen the fourth one. I do really like it. I think the fourth one's just as good as the first two, in my opinion. Not as good, but pretty close. This is definitely the weakest of the four, but I still do want to get a Blu-ray of this. And this one's not super expensive either to get a Blu-ray. Here's one that is a little bit more on the expensive side still. Wolfman. I do want to get an upgrade of this. Now, I actually bought this not that long ago. And I know this has a Blu-ray, but it was another one. I just really didn't want to order it. And I was just tired of waiting to get it. So I just grabbed the DVD at Walmart for like $12 and just said, fine. Now, like I said, I bought this like a month or two ago. I know this has a Blu-ray. I just really didn't want to order it, so I just said, you know what, screw it. So, the Blu-ray is a little bit more on the expensive side anyway. So yeah, here's one that's pretty dirt cheap. The Croods: A New Age. Now, I actually just watched this movie for the first time a couple months, like 2 months or two ago, and I actually really like this movie. Um, Definitely on my list for upgrade. And this is dirt cheap. You can get it for $4 or $5 on eBay, free shipping. So one that I'll probably have soon, hopefully on the Blu-ray. Here we have one that I'm actually not sure what the pricing is on. We got Five Nights at Freddy's. Now we do have the second one coming out. I'm not 100% sure what this goes for on Blu-ray. Probably $10 if I had to guess. Hold on. I'm gonna check real fast. Okay, so it goes. Actually, still kind of goes for a decent amount on a Blu-ray. The cheapest Blu-ray I'm seeing is $10. So I'm gonna put this in the more expensive one for now. And that might just be because there is a new movie, so the hype is kind of there again for this movie. That usually happens with movies when there's a sequel coming out. And especially because it's just around the corner. People kind of raise the price of the previous films in the series. That's happened to a lot of movies that I want to get. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's happening with this. It probably, once the second one comes out and it kind of dies down in hype a little bit again, it'll probably be pretty cheap for a Blu-ray. Next up, this one actually, last time I checked, was kind of expensive for a Blu-ray, which is kind of crazy because this movie didn't get a ton of recognition when it came out. And it was kind of interesting to me that this actually still had a really solid value to it, and it still does. It actually goes pretty close to the release price still. Actually, it still averages about $20, which is kind of crazy. For this movie, and it's a Disney movie. Elemental. This movie didn't get a lot of recognition when it came out, and I actually really liked this movie. Definitely want to get a Blu-ray, and I'm sure this looks really good on a Blu-ray. I don't want to pay $20 for a Blu-ray upgrade for this, so I'll wait. This is one. They're not. I'm gonna put this in dirt cheap because to buy them both separate, they're pretty cheap. Fox and the Hound, Fox and the Hound 2. I grew up with these. I watched these so many times growing up, so I definitely want to upgrade these mainly just for the nostalgia factor alone. But I do really like these movies as well. So definitely want to get a Blu-ray of these, and these aren't super expensive. You can get them for like $6-7 on eBay. So not too bad. Now this one kind of surprised me as well. This one goes for like $12 to $15, and yeah, I was kind of surprised with that. I am talking about 2022's Scream. I have seen this movie so many times. I went through a Scream phase. I still absolutely love Scream. I bought the skin in Fortnite, which I barely ever buy V-Bucks for a Pacific skin in Fortnite, but I did for Ghostface. I have a Ghostface water cup. I have Ghostface shirt. I have the movies. I love Ghostface. I think he's an amazing character, but don't want to pay $15 for a Blu-ray upgrade of this movie. I'm sorry. Now this one actually doesn't go for a ton for a Blu-ray. I have seen this as low as like $7 for an upgrade, and this is not an old movie. This came out last year. So this is like actually not that old of a movie, and I'm talking about Wonka. Have you seen this as low as $7 for a Blu-ray of this movie, which is kind of crazy to me. I definitely want an upgrade of this, and it still goes pretty cheap. It's like, I think just over $10. There are people who have it under $10, but the most expensive I think I saw it was like $13. I'm gonna put this in the cheaper stack, just because of that reason alone. It's overall doesn't go for that much. So, Wonka. Here's one that is also kind of really close in between. Goes for like 12 bucks, 10 to 12, I want to say. Twisters. I adore this movie. I've seen this movie like 10 times. Love this movie. I definitely regret not just grabbing the Blu-ray when this came out, honestly. I'm surprised I didn't, honestly. But it is definitely up there on my list. Probably one of the highest on my list for an upgrade. Now, overall, where am I going to put this? I'm actually going to put this probably in the expensive for now, but it is going down pretty fast. This one isn't that expensive. These are old movies. Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. These go for like $4 for a Blu-ray of these. Pretty cheap, and I do want to get these on Blu-ray. I love these movies. I've seen all 4, so definitely want to get these on Blu-ray. Next up is another one that doesn't go for a ton. Sing 2. I don't like the first Sing, but I do like the sequel. This movie actually really surprised me. I didn't watch this movie until literally a couple months ago for the first time, and I actually really surprisingly liked it. I disregarded this movie immediately because I didn't like the first one, and ended up actually enjoying this one quite a bit. So, and it's not that expensive for a Blu-ray either. This one, for some reason, goes for like 20 bucks still. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is like one of the tops on my list for an upgrade, but I'm not paying $20 for an upgrade. I am waiting for this to come down to like 10 bucks. I'll snipe it at 10, honestly. If I see a copy go up for 10 bucks, I'm sniping it. There's just no doubt about it. It shouldn't be that much at this point. It's a 2-year-old movie now. This should be 10 bucks by now on a Blu-ray. Here's one that is a little bit more on the expensive side still. Same with the one that I just showed you not that long ago. Scream 6. I definitely really like this movie, and I definitely want a Blu-ray of this. It is more expensive, though. It is like 12, 13 bucks. I'm going to put this in the more expensive pile, but it is one that I do really want an upgrade for. This one I'm not sure what the Blu-ray actually goes for. The Super Mario Bros. Movie. This was one of the last DVDs I ever bought before I went to Blu-ray only. I'm actually going to look this up because I don't know what a Blu-ray of this goes for. One second. Okay. Dang, it still goes for a decent amount of money. Yeah. Goes, Gosh, this is like 15 on average, so I'm gonna put this in the more expensive. I wouldn't pay over $7.50 for an upgrade of this movie. Now we're getting some cheaper ones here again. Bolt. I actually forgot I had this. It actually fell in the crevice of my of my shelf that I have my movies on, and I didn't even know it was there. So I don't know how long it was back there, but I have Bolt. I didn't even know I had this movie actually. I have Bolt, and it's actually not that expensive. 47 meters down. This is a pretty cheap one as well. I hate myself because I actually passed on I had the Blu-ray of this picked up when I bought this DVD, and then I saw the DVD was like $1 cheaper. I was so cheap. I wish I just picked up the Blu-ray though. It was like $2.95. This one actually doesn't go for a ton. It goes for like pretty close to 10, which isn't too bad. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. This was a very popular movie in 2023, and I definitely see why. It's a fun movie. It's got that really cool drawing animation, which everyone loves for a reason. People are bringing it back. I'm so happy people are bringing it back. It is probably my favorite type of animation. That or stop motion. I love stop motion as well. But this is definitely one I do want to get an upgrade for. Hopefully soon. This one doesn't go for too much. Bumblebee. I love this movie. I've seen this not a ton, honestly. I've seen this a couple times, but not as much as I thought I would have watched this movie. Definitely want to get an upgrade of this, though. Here's one I'm actually not sure what the price is on this. Probably not that much. Because what year was this? Oh, this was 2021. For some reason I thought this was like 2019. Godzilla vs. Kong. Love this cover. But actually, I think the Blu-ray cover is even better, honestly. This is another one I gotta check real fast because I'm not really sure what the Blu-ray goes for this. Okay, it's not too bad. Oh, you can get it for like $6. Okay. Okay, I'll actually probably pick up this after I film this then, because it's actually pretty cheap. I'll probably pick this one up right after this video. Here's one that's a little bit more expensive, because it is an older Disney movie as well. Ratatouille. I actually didn't even know this had a Blu-ray. At all. I didn't know this had a Blu-ray at all. Until I looked it up. This goes for like $15. So not a cheap Blu-ray. Definitely one that I most likely will wait on until I see it at a store somewhere. But right now, that is not really one on my list. Here's another one that's pretty cheap. A Quiet Place Part 2. This is the only Quiet Place movie I don't own on a physical or on Blu-ray. I have the first one and Day 1 on Blu-ray. So this is the only one I don't have on Blu-ray. So hopefully soon I can get a Blu-ray of this. This is another cheap one, Kidnap. Another one that is pretty decently cheap. Like to grab a Blu-ray of this at some point. It's kind of just the main thing over and over. I just want to get them upgraded, really. These two are really nowhere near high on my list. The first two are really the only two that I really care about, but I do want to get these two on Blu-ray just because I have the first two on Blu-ray. I'm talking about Insidious Chapter 3 and Insidious The Last Key. I don't even have The Red Door. I know it's a movie. I don't dislike it, and I do actually kind of want it. But I'm not paying $15 for it. I don't love these movies as much as everyone else does. I do like these, and I do want to get these on Blu-ray. But I want to find these dirt cheap for me to buy these on Blu-ray. And actually, I'm pretty sure they are dirt cheap, so let's put them in the cheap pile. Jurassic Park, you can get these pretty cheap on Blu-ray. You can probably go and buy them for like $5 on Amazon on Blu-ray, I think. So, pretty dirt cheap. Here we got Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This one goes for like $7 for a Blu-ray, $7, $8. Isn't too bad. A little bit more than I thought it would be for a Blu-ray of this, especially being a 3-year-old movie now. But good movie, and I definitely want to get an upgrade of this as well. Avatar, a movie I actually really want to get a Blu-ray of, even though I've never watched the movie. I've heard amazing things about this movie. I have never seen this movie, ever. I've never seen this movie a day in my life. But I do want to get a Blu-ray of this, and it is pretty cheap. You can get it for like $2, $3. So I might just grab it and blind buy and hope I like this movie. The Nun 2, this one is not super duper cheap yet. Goes for like $12, $15 for a Blu-ray. And these Nun movies I do enjoy, but I probably wouldn't pay over $7.50 for an upgrade for these. Just I can't see myself doing it. So, The Nun 2. We have Unstoppable. This is also a pretty dirt cheap one that I definitely do want to grab a Blu-ray for. This is a really good movie. This is a really good movie, and I had a lot of fun watching this for the first time a couple months ago. Definitely want to get a Blu-ray of this. I'm not sure what the Blu-ray of this goes for. I don't think it's very much. What year is this movie? 2018, so probably like under $7 probably. Tomb Raider. I know a lot of people were mixed on this movie from what I remember. I do like this movie. I watched it with my mom and my sister, and I actually did like this movie. Um, so I'm actually gonna check it real fast because I am curious what it goes for. I don't think it's much, but we're gonna check it anyway. Yeah, it's cheap. It's like $6, $7. Yeah, $6. Yeah, so pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. Here we got Secretariat. I don't know a ton about this movie. I know the Blu-ray is pretty cheap for this movie. Everyone tells me this is a really good movie. I haven't seen it. It looks like a movie I would like though. I need to watch it though. But Secretariat, pretty cheap. So this is one I'm gonna put in the more expensive because these are also older. It's kind of like The Great Mouse Detective, The Rescuers, and The Rescuers Down Under. These are not super duper cheap for a Blu-ray. Granted, again, it's like The Great Mouse Detective. These are older movies. These are like 1980 movies. Back then, Blu-ray obviously wasn't a thing. So, yeah, these are probably not cheap. This is one that actually surprised me because this is kind of really expensive, actually. The Others. This actually is kind of an expensive Blu-ray. And, yeah. I wouldn't pay probably over $7.50 for this. This goes for like $20. $15 to $20. So, definitely one that I won't pick up anytime soon, probably on a Blu-ray. Here's another dirt cheap one, The Call. This is an older movie. Goes for like $2-3 for a Blu-ray. Pretty dirt cheap, but I do want to get a Blu-ray of this. We're getting there. We have like, I don't know, 10, 15 more to go, and we're done. And obviously, I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Top Gun Maverick. This is not cheap for a Blu-ray. It goes $15 still. I do want to get an upgrade of this. This probably looks really good in a Blu-ray. Good movie. Definitely a good movie, and I definitely want this on a Blu-ray. But not cheap. Here's a cheap one, which surprised me when I looked at it. Arthur the King. This actually goes for under $10 on Blu-ray. It goes for like $7, which isn't bad considering it's only a two. Actually, this came out last year, so actually pretty good. Here's another cheap one here. Alice in Wonderland. This is another one that you can get for like probably $2-3. And I do like this movie. I know a lot of people don't like this movie. It's one of those few movies that I actually do like that most people really dislike. Here we got The Descent. Now this actually goes for a decent amount of money for a Blu-ray. So this is one that I don't see myself getting into anytime soon. Unfortunately, a Blu-ray for this. This is a really good movie though. But I am not paying like $20 for a Blu-ray of this movie. Here's another cheap one, Ma. I watched this with my mom and my sister for the first time a year or two ago. I want to say 2 years ago. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm really excited because they announced a sequel to it finally. And this is a really good movie, and I'm actually really excited for a sequel for this movie. Yeah, definitely want to see a sequel to this. Definitely want to get a Blu-ray. The Peanuts movie. Another cheap one. Another pretty cheap title here. So, again, I've seen this movie a couple times, and I really enjoy it. So, it's definitely one I do want an upgrade for. Paddington 2. Another cheap one. Majority of these, and you'll see, I'm going to show the piles. Majority of these are pretty cheap. Honestly, majority of these go for under $10 for a Blu-ray upgrade. There's a decent amount that do go for over that, but there's a reason I'm waiting, because I'm not paying that. Once they go under that, I'll pick them up. But we have, like I said, Paddington 2, pretty dirt cheap. A Okay, this next one, you can only get these two on Blu-ray in a double pack, and that double pack is not cheap. Lilo and Stitch and Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch. This goes for like 16 bucks for the Blu-rays 2-pack of these. And I definitely do want these. I love these movies. I definitely want a Blu-ray of these. So, unfortunately though, not the price I'm willing to pay for these. Okay, we are down to our final 5 for the video. We got DC League of Super Pets. This is a pretty dirt cheap one. And I actually really like this movie. I watched this. I got this like a year ago in the mail off Amazon. And I never saw it, and it looked kind of good. I remember when it was in the theaters, and I thought it looked pretty interesting. This is actually a good movie. I actually really had a lot of fun with this movie. And I'm actually kind of really excited to get a Blu-ray of this. So the animation looks stunning, by the way. Beetlejuice. I'm actually not sure what a Blu-ray of this really goes for. This movie came out last year. I'm gonna say like probably 15 bucks, which is a little high for me. But maybe it goes for under that. I'm not 100% sure. We're gonna check it real fast. Okay, it actually doesn't go for that much. You can get it for like 12 bucks. That's not bad. That's actually not bad. You can get it for like 12 bucks on Blu-ray. That's actually not bad. I'm gonna put this in the expensive pile, even though that's not that bad, and I was expecting it to be higher than that. So, one to keep an eye out on. Now, this one actually surprised me because this one actually goes for under $10. Despicable Me 4. I really like this movie. I've seen this movie like 15 times. This actually isn't that expensive for a Blu-ray, and I definitely do want to get a Blu-ray of this. I have all the other Despicable Me and Minion movies on Blu-ray. It's the only one I don't have on Blu-ray. Definitely want to get an upgrade on that. Here we got Megan. Megan is, I want to say like 10 bucks. Maybe a little under 10. I definitely want an upgrade of this. I've seen this movie so many times. I love this movie. Definitely one I'm looking out for a Blu-ray on. And then The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Now, this one doesn't go for too much either, but it is definitely one I do want to grab. So, hopefully soon. Alrighty, so I'm actually just going to kind of show you guys. This big stack is all the cheaper ones. And then this stack on this side, this little stack is, well, it's not little, it's decent size. That is the more expensive, a little bit more than I want to pay titles, but that is going to do it. Honestly, I had a lot of fun filming this. And there are more movies in my collection that I just don't have in here right now that I'm not, like, fully focused on getting an upgrade on. I know. Whoa. Crazy. But that is gonna do it for now. For now, that is what I've got for what I want an upgrade for. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. And hey, we also made it under an hour.